Today I want to do a video on Pokemon card protection or TCG card protection in general. I'm actually very specific and picky about card protection, but yeah, here are some of the products I use. The Ultra Pro penny sleeves. And these perfect fit sleeves, they're by KMC. I lost the outer package. I'll try to put a picture here. And these are also perfect fit sleeves. They're a little bit unique by rline, and I'll show later on in the video. And for top loaders or hard sleeves, I use these full protect sleeves and these side loaders from Daiso, and also these Ultra Pro top loaders. And for the slabs, I don't have many, but I use these full protect case for the PSA slabs. So my main goals are first to keep the cards nice and protected, and second, I like displaying my cards in binders, and if I could display them in a way that's aesthetic and for the binder, that would be great. So yes, first and foremost, protected, but also aesthetic. So with that, I kind of broke it down to 3 tiers. The single sleeve tier, following by double sleeve, and then the next one, hard sleeve / top loader. So the first category, the single sleeve tier, kind of very simple. These are your commons and uncommons and EX cards, and very simple. These are the Ultra Pro penny sleeves. I take one of these and take the card and very simply just sleeve it up. And with that, I can go ahead and put these into my binder. Same with the EX cards. Using these penny sleeve it up, and then I can put it into the binder. So that's the first category. Moving on to the second one, which is double sleeving. This is where it kind of gets interesting with the introduction of perfect sleeves, or perfect sleeves, or these inner sleeves, as many people like to call them. So these ones here are the KMC perfect fit sleeves, and these are the rline perfect fit sleeves. So these KMC sleeves are very simple and straightforward, and the benefit of it is it's very clear, extremely clear. So these are great for art cards like these ARs. I use these for my ARs, and also these leave a lot of room on the outside for a perfect sleeve. I've heard some stories of people having issues with perfect fit because they hug too tight to the border of the card, and it gives them trouble with bending and other things. So these KMC sleeves are really nice. And these are really interesting. They're the rline perfect fit sleeves. So these are actually, if I can take a clear shot, these are side loaded sleeves, and they actually have a, let's see, they actually have round corners. I'll show it in the card so it's clear. But yes, they actually have round corners, and these are also really nice. They're really perfect fit. If I were to compare the KMC with these ones, the KMC is perfect with enough space, is how I would describe it. And these ones, the rline ones, are perfect fit. But with a downside, I was really excited when I got these. These side loading sleeves, they're actually a little foggy, or I guess milky. So these, if you play in the TCG game or competitively, these might be good because you're using the MS protection. However, I like to display my collection, so I would choose the KMC sleeves for the inner sleeves over these rline sleeves because they display the art better. They give a clearer view. For my SRs, they don't really have the background art, so I figured this is a great opportunity to use these sleeves. Yeah, so to give a little clear image, I'll disassemble them first, and to show you how I sleeve them up. So first, for these ARs with great amazing art, I would take one of the KMC sleeve, perfect fit, and go ahead and sleeve it up. I sleeve it up upside down to prevent dust. But yeah, a little trick here is to, open the pocket first and then dip the corner in first so there's no friction, and then very gently just kind of slide out in. There's little to no pressure. That's what I love about the KMC Perfect Fit. You don't need any pressure. They are the perfect fit with enough space. So these are really nice. As you can see, it has the straight corners, very clear for the art display. And after the perfect fit, I grab one of the penny sleeves, the Ultra Pro ones. You can honestly use any bigger sleeves you like, and then just go ahead and sleeve it. This time I guess the normal way. So there you have it, the double sleeve for my ARs. And like mentioned, for the SRs, I use these rline sleeve, the side loading one. So same process, I would take my card and use these side loading sleeves. Go ahead and put it in. Also, little to no pressure. And since it's slide loading, it's actually easier to do it this way because you have a shorter travel distance this way versus this way. But yeah, oops. Hopefully this shows. Yeah, as you can see, the the edge is rounded, and I don't know how to explain it well, but they actually cut this part, so I believe the corner is not connected. There's a air pocket here to make it a better fit sleeves. And then this space is left for a little room for the cards so they're not too snug, and it's very well fitted. I really like these sleeves. It's a bummer that they're a little foggy for the ARs, but same thing. After the inner sleeve, I would get a penny sleeve and go ahead and sleeve that in, and there you go. So different ones, different inner sleeves for these two, but you can't really go wrong with either one. They both fit very nicely. The only downside for this is it's a little foggy, so I choose to use the KMC one for my art cards. They show nicer. So with that, let's move on to the next category, which is the heart sleeves. This is where things can get a little interesting. So for a little review, I use these top loaders. They're the easiest to use. You can throw any cards in a penny sleeves, then into these top loaders, and you can't go wrong with them. But I also use these side loaders from Daiso. I'm finding a way to show the cards nice in a binder, like in a top loader binder, and I've been exploring these side loading sleeves. And I also use these full protect sleeves. They're, if you've heard of the Ultra Pro mini snaps, they're very similar, and I'll do a demonstration later in the video. So for these heart sleeves card, I first, let's see, I first put them in the perfect sleeves, as you can see here, and then I put an outer sleeve. Here I'm using a penny sleeve, but you can use any sleeves you like. And with that, I then put it into a heart sleeves. In this case, I'm using the Daiso side loader, which is this one. So it fits very nicely, and then just give it a slight tap. Yes, so I actually really like the side loaders. I'm still finding one that fits really good. There are some in Japan, but with the shipping and everything to ship it here in the States, it's a little expensive. And these are the affordable Daiso sleeve. But yes, here you can see the side. It leaves almost no space, just a little bit for breathing, which is really nice. The top is still a little more than I'd like, the empty space here. And you will see later in the binder that it makes a difference, or at least in my opinion. But yes, that's the first type I have on hand. And this is the second side loading sleeves I have. This is even smaller in size. And not that I don't like them, but I think they're a little too small for good protection. So here, same thing. I put them double sleeving, perfect fit, and then outer sleeve. Then these ones also fit really nicely. It's just a little small. So so they slide right in, and you don't really need to tap it because it's on the edge already. Very small gap for this sleeve, and because of the quality control, these are cheaper sleeves from Daiso. They can leave different sizing for the bottom. Some of the ones I got, the penny sleeves actually protrude out a little bit, and I think that's a sign of the hard sleeves being too small. So although these ones fit really nicely for the binder, I'll still look for more different kinds of side loading sleeves. So you can see, I'll do an overlay and see the size comparison. On the top, you will have a little gap right here, and I think that's a lot of difference when you display them in a top loader binder. And I can do even a comparison with the top loader. So this is the biggest 3x4 size, and this is the smallest one, in which you can see the side leaves a big space. The top just a little different, not too much. And then this one is slightly bigger, but you can see the side is still noticeably smaller than the top loaders. So yeah, these are kind of the ways I'm exploring right now for these more valuable ARs or SARs. I like to double sleeve them and then into these hard sleeves. So I think that's enough yap about side loaders for now. If you watch all the way here, first of all, thank you. Second of all, the second part of this video should be up by now, so go check it out. Bye.